blanket feeling cold against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Great to see you again. Nice to be back. So tonight I already see Danny's comment about Stephan. Yeah, he is not a good person. He is a very, very bad person. But I thought it would be interesting just to take a look at some of this evidence. I have a couple of different things from a couple of different cases, not just Stephan, but we have a few things here to talk about. But I just thought some of these evidence photos that I was able to get a hold of from the court in Florida, look from the police department in Florida, and look, just an inside look into who Stephan is. And I don't think any of us are very, I don't think any of us will be surprised by what these photos show. I think they'll show the soy boy that he has always been and is, basically always described as. I don't think that's going to change. Here, I'm going to show you some of this, and then we'll get into it. But we have a couple of cases to talk about tonight. So here we go. Oh, gotta have the high chew. Gotta have the high chew. Hey guys, good to see you. Good to be back. Hold on for a sec. We just got an update on something. Always happens when I'm about to go live. Give me one sec. Okay, no, that's all right. That's okay. It was just a general update about something. Good to see you all. Sorry, what it's like every time I jump on, we get an update from a courthouse. That was something for another day. So next week we have a busy week. Next week, Monday and Tuesday are long days. We have Aaron Patterson on Monday, and then we have Aaron Patterson on Tuesday again. 2 really, really long days. I'll be in the courthouse for both of them, and I will give you an update. I think it's probably going to be pretty late. I would suspect, like any other court day that we've done, it's probably going to be late in the day. So it's the 25th and 26th. I think it's going to be a late day. So you guys are probably not going to get the update from me until about 8:30, 8 o'clock at night, possibly earlier, but it just depends on what time I get back and work through all the notes and things like that. So it'll be very much like we're back at trial for Monday and Tuesday. This thing here, Stephan Stearns. I just want to show you some of this stuff. So this is his room. So this is, well, the room. Just have a look at some of the things that we see located in here. I see an RV car, whatever a Battletech is. I'm not sure what that is. A video game, maybe, but a model. I don't know. So not a lot in that one. And then, sorry, we're in the wrong one. This one here that you guys can see, that looks like model making kit for like sort of like Warhammer or any of those like little models that you paint. That's what it looks like to me. A bag of Haichu. Gotta have the bag of Haichu, apparently. Maybe Haichu has now been permanently stained by the legacy of Stephan Stearns. That could be true. You never know. Let's see what else we got. There is one photo in here that they found, and if you've been following Stephan's case on any other channel, maybe the docket, maybe somewhere else, you may have seen this already. I want to warn you of what this actually is. Now, I have censored it I have censored this photo. I don't know if we're still going to get booted by YouTube for it, but just here's your warning that this photo is somewhat graphic. All right. I'm going to show you the censored version, not the uncensored, because if we show you the uncensored, we'll get booted off YouTube. They also found this. They also found this. Now, hey, we're not here to kink shame anyone. We're not here to upset people based on their sexuality or whatever. But in my opinion, this definitely it's an insight into his offending. I think this is related. You know, I was talking to someone else about this earlier today about what this could mean, and I was saying if I was a prosecutor on this case, the first question I would ask is not about this, is not about Madeline. It's not about her. I would ask about the mum, Jen, and Stephan's sex life. That's the first question I would ask because I would want to know what was going on there and if they even had that type of intimate relationship near the end. Like I'm sure in the beginning they did, but what was going on near the end, you know, where this offending, we know it took place over many years, but what was going on there? Was he still sleeping with Jen? I don't think I've seen anything about that. And if I was the prosecutor, I would lead with that as one of the lead questions into, you know, sort of his offending. But yeah, they found this for people out there that maybe are a little, I don't know, sheltered in the world. If you don't know what this is a sex device for men. And this is, if I took away all the dots that you see there, this would be a naked lady with no head. Why it has no head, I don't know. Did he chop the head off? Maybe. No, I think they come like that, but uh, it's a bit creepy. It's like, oh, it's like, you know, we only sell them without the head because all you need is the vagina, right? Like you don't need a head. Uh, the head costs extra apparently. You have to pay extra for that. It's big money. Yeah, it's a bit odd. He called it Jen. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So this is what they found. I'm not going to show you the other view. There was another view. That's the nicest view I can show you. There's another view of that. But one of the things they found in that room. All right, let me get back to my other. Yeah, more RV cars. What else have we got? I want to get this off the screen. I feel like we're going to get in trouble with YouTube. There we go. So there you go. You saw the raunchy photo, and I did censor it. There's no lady bit showing. Don't come for me, YouTube. Or you know, that's a bad choice of words. Being this was interesting to me, right? So for a guy who is a collector and um, you know, does all this type of Tamagotchis and stuff like that, he has this showcase out the back right here, and a samurai sword. But here is a like a you would put in like your collectibles or whatever. You would show them off. But instead of being in this case here behind the glass, they're just scattered all over the room. So you buy this beautiful case with the glass shells, and instead of putting them in there, you just leave them scattered everywhere. It's odd. It's like, yes, I want to spend a lot of money on a beautiful cabinet and then just leave them trashed all over the room. And I'll show you another photo about this if I can grab it. The room is just, it's very cluttered. I mean, in parts it looks very organized, and then in other parts it just looks absolutely trashed. Hold on. There's another one. Yeah, this photo here. I want to show you this photo from it. And you know, like any good man in his 30s, you obviously need to have all your Tamagotchis and Digimon, you know, hung up above your television like your pride and joy, because of course you do. There you go. You can see he even had one in the packet. Oh, can we zoom out a little bit? He even had one still in the packet. There you go. His collection of Tamagotchis. How old is he? I thought he was. How old is he? Hold on. Stephan. I forgot how old he was. I haven't done this story in like 8 months. I thought he was in his 30s. I don't know. I'm not sure. Look, he is a like they say in the article here. He is a Florida man given 21 life sentences on Monday. So that was back in July. No, he played no contest. We know that now. He's 39. Yeah, I was right. I was right. See, Ping knows what he's talking about sometimes. Sometimes. No, he's 39 apparently. According to the article here. See, I was right. You act like I don't do this for a living or something. Jeez, people. Act like I don't know what I'm talking about and I run a YouTube channel about true crime. Here, Stearns 39 was sentenced to 21 life sentences, which will run concurrently or at the same time. Well, let's just hope he is not a vampire because he may come back. And then what are we supposed to do then? I mean, if they're only served concurrently and not consecutively, we may all be in trouble. Let's hope that he is not a vampire. General pop, please. Yeah. Oh, so Stephan Stearns here. There's Madeline Soto, right? So back in so he killed 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Madeline Soto is here. The backstory to this is that over a period of time, he was committing, what's the word we can use on YouTube? Like CA on Madeline. Not only that, he was committing SA on her as well, including like years of very depraved sexual offending against Madeline. And then one morning, she just went missing. Like we always talk about in these cases, how these people just tend to go missing. Well, she just went missing on her walk to school. Well, she didn't go missing. He had killed her and then dumped her not too far away and tried to play the whole, I don't know where she is. I've got no idea. No, he did know the whole time because he is the one who put her there. So here, I'll play this little video. It'll bring you up to date for people who have not been keeping up with it.
Nearly 2 months after Kissimmee police arrested Stephan Stearns, a grand jury now indicting him for the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto.
The indictment signifies a crucial step forward in our quest for justice and a testament to our commitment to honoring Madeline's memory.
On Wednesday, the Kissimmee Police Department and State Attorney Andrew Bain came together and spoke about the weeks they have spent sifting through evidence to get to this point. Maddie was reported missing in late February, just after her 13th birthday, when she didn't show up to school. Just 4 days later, her body was found in a wooded area of Osceola County. Stearns told deputies he dropped her off near school on the day she went missing, but officials later learned that didn't happen.
The evidence shows an individual that was entrusted to keep Madeline safe made calculated moves to dispose Madeline's belongings and place her body in a wooded area before she was ever reported missing.
Stearns was taken into custody after investigators found disturbing evidence on his phone. He was charged with 60 counts related to child sex crimes. Stearns was supposed to be in court Wednesday morning for a hearing regarding those charges, but he didn't show. During a news conference, officials said that they couldn't talk about certain facts in this case as this is still an open and ongoing investigation. And when it comes to the death penalty, State Attorney Bain said they haven't decided whether they'll pursue that yet.
That's a discussion that we're still going to be having for the next couple of weeks to make sure that we're making a legal decision that's appropriate in this case.
There you go. Little updater for people. Sean said, over how many years did this go on? I think from the evidence and the things that the police found on the phone, at least 3, maybe several. I think the range is between like at least 3 years and possibly for many more. It seems like the CA and the SA was going on for a long period of time, many years, and this poor girl was subjected to really horrific offending, like really gross, really gross offending against a young girl. So Stefan deserves everything that's coming his way. Unfortunately, he will not be able to take his plastic girlfriend with him to jail. That plastic girlfriend will have to stay in the tip or the evidence locker wherever she is now. Um, we won't be running an adoption scheme for his plastic girlfriend. I'm sorry for all the people that are interested. We won't be doing that. Let's see. You cannot adopt her. Let's see. Yeah, there's a photo here I wanted to show you because I think it demonstrates like the chaoticness. Like half the room in here, I know it was searched by police. Half of it's like, you know, tidy and looks like it had some sort of organization, and then half of it's like completely in disarray. Let's go. No, that's more of his bloody Tamagotchis. Yeah, okay, fine. This one. So this photo again, but you see, like, there's a lot of like organizational type things, like the baskets, and then you see the cabinet, and then just there's crap everywhere. It's I know cops do that when they search things, but I believe it was probably pretty trash before the cops got there. Um, Apparently that was redacted. Okay, more of the nudie thing. Okay, let's go up here. Sorry, the photos have a lot of that naked sex doll in it, unfortunately, so I can't show them. Let's see. There's one. Yeah, okay, this one. Yeah, here's a bit of a look. I think we already looked at this one, but I'll show you the wider view. There you go. Like, there's just Amazon boxes and other crap, and I'm guessing this is maybe something that the cops pulled down, maybe. But yeah, you can see how disorganized. It's sort of like 50% organized, 50% trash hole. It's yeah. That's right. We're not running any adoption agencies for Stefan's used. They should do an R word kit on that thing. You never know. Could have more charges coming his way. No raffles on that item. We will not be doing any we're not going to make a website. We're not going to put it up on the website. Do like a social media campaign. Be like, "Hey, look what we found. We rescued it. You can adopt this today. We're just going to have a couple of weeks, to garner interest." No, we won't be doing that. Jen's house looked the same. Yeah, very chaotic life. And look, I'm not the most uncluttered person either. I got crap all over my desk as well. So I feel like I'm throwing stones in a glass house, but yeah, it's a bit odd. All right. There is a interview here that I want to play. And this is with Christopher Stearns. So if I can bring this up. Yeah. There you guys go. All right. We're going to play it. You guys can listen to it. And then we'll go from there. And I'm sorry, Danny, Mr. Danier. I know he's not a fan of this particular case, but Sean says, has Jennifer Soto's mother spoken up? I don't think so. I think a couple of times there's been a couple of comments, but not really. I'm still under the impression that there should be more charges here. I feel like that poor little girl should have only had one defender in life, and that should have been her mother, and it wasn't. And to me, while what Stefan did is, it's a lot of it's undescribable how horrific it would have been. But what she did is almost worse by not protecting that little girl. And that really gets me every time about this particular case because if you can't rely on your one person, your mum in life, and I know a lot of people have family lives that they can't do that, but if you are sort of living with your mum and she's your caretaker, that's your one defense in life as a young person. And she did not fulfill her duties of protecting that little girl. And I'll die on that hill. I will say it till the cows come home. I don't care about the people who, the defenders or whatever. I couldn't give a stuff. Um, to me, that's the be and end all of this case is that that little girl should have had her mum to protect her, and the mum was more interested in pleasing the boyfriend and letting him do whatever. Some of the comments are so creepy, like, "Oh, I thought they're gonna run away together." Really? Really? Is that something you say about your, like, 13-year-old daughter? "Oh, they slept in the same room together." Really? I had girlfriends when I was young. Their parents would have literally beat the crap out of me if I was in their daughter's room at that age, yet alone a 37-year-old man. I was 16 or 15 or whatever. Yet alone a freaking almost 40-year-old guy in the room with like a preteen girl. I it's bizarre, really bizarre. Um, right. I More needs to be looked into that side of things. All right, let's play the interview. Yeah, I have the CCTV. We can. I have the body cam footage. We can watch that in a minute.
This is Detective on April 11, 2024 at 17:34 hours. I'm going to be at 2341 Snug Street, Northport, Florida, speaking with a Christopher Stearns in reference to an agency assist investigation with Kissimmee Police Department, Northport PD case number 24015-034.
I didn't see you sneak up.
Hey, what's going on, Harry?
Oh, I thought you had a bruise on.
Oh, no.
Did you do a face plant?
Probably. With my life. Hey, how are you guys? All things.
Hey, quiet. Quiet.
Well, we had we're talking about our conversation with Stephan.
Well, we talked to him yesterday, and I told Mark this. Our indication is from him and just talking to him and some of the way he said things that the one that killed him.
And that there's more than one person involved, so that brings in the mother, the sister.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if you probably didn't hear this, but see all this crazy stuff on YouTube, but
Oh, we're supposed to be multimillionaires living in these millionaire homes.
the aunt, the sister called in the 911 call.
Northport Delta 25
Sorry.
and 74.
10-4, I'll be off the air in our interview.
Please sit down.
Sure.
So if you listen to this phone call, the sister's calling in the 911 call and then asking who must have been across the room the questions that she's being asked and said, well, what was she wearing? And the mother's sitting back there. Nobody's hysterical. It's just like a common conversation.
That's
You know, like
awful.
you and I talked a few minutes ago.
That's awful.
You
She
know?
says, oh, I think it was a green hoodie. You know, it's the same one she wore when she went to go and sit in front of the church and get her picture taken because she's the same size as her daughter. But the hoodie would cover the fact that she has dark hair and her daughter had blonde hair.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
That's-
telling you, this is.
Oh,
some-
I have no doubt.
This is quicksand
I mean,
of shit.
I have no doubt. I mean, I'm sure that. So our involvement to this is very, very limited.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
as you
I
guys
do
know.
have a question.
Sure.
How did this crazy ass woman on YouTube get the in-car dash cam from the deputy's car that was transporting him and have it on her YouTube show with a complete transcription of everything that was said?
Right. I mean, I can't speak for them again, you know, but for
Not those YouTube shows. How dare they? With all the transcripts and the details. Shocking. I love the cop. He's like, oh, you know, I can't speak to them. No, you can't. So there we go. All right.
the public record laws in Florida are very, very loose. You know what I mean? It's like open to
Those
to
are
everybody
public
else.
records?
Sure. Any police interaction, they'll redact certain things. Like I know my agency will redact victims' faces, medical information, those kind of things. But as far as body cameras and everything goes,
This twit went back 40 years to pull
ugh,
my
Everything.
divorce decree
that's crazy.
that I was going to divorce him. Well, I was going to divorce him, but then we worked it out.
Worked it
We've been
out,
married
yeah.
44 years.
Good for you guys. That's
You know?
life's a journey. You know?
Hey, I
Well,
went to
it
church.
took 2 out of 3 mud wrestling matches, but she won.
Yeah.
And she said the only reason he's still with her is because it's cheaper to keep her. Is it?
Oh,
I'm
they're very
just giving all the
expensive.
money with the
Especially,
dogs.
I can share with you the storage bills. $100,000, isn't it? One of these, this one has like a video
Okay.
application on it, but this one has the shit on it.
Yeah. What's that mean? The shit on it? Like,
It has
There's
child porn.
child porn on it. I didn't see it because I didn't want to,
Sure.
but I just hovered the mouse over it. And so you open up, there's a regular directory and there's subdirectories. And then you hovered over the subdirectories
Gave you a
and it
title.
started listing titles, images.
What
Layla,
I'm
5 years
hoping-
old or something like
I'm
that.
praying is that they can find out where that crap came from and go
Absolutely.
after those people.
and that's so.
That's why we were so determined to get you guys to get it.
Absolutely, and that's I used to, years ago I worked a lot of the internet crimes against children and stuff, and that is the main goal, is to delete it from existence and to arrest the people, because all these people call it child porn or whatever. To me, it's crime scene photos. It's just kids being brutally harmed. And you think this is from the computer tower itself?
Yeah, because what I believe why it is because
It's very new.
it's where I found it was in the back that if he spent as much time here in Northport as he did,
Yeah,
then he had enough time to pull some stuff out.
sure.
How he got into it, don't know, but he knows how to pick locks.
I love animals, and I have 2 here, and I appreciate dogs too. I like dogs. But the one thing that drives me bonkers on any type of like public recording, like body cam and things like that, how is it that there's always a mother effing dog in the background in every friggin' thing? You remember that case we had earlier this year where that girl was shot in that street in Queensland, and then the 2 guys went on the run? There was a freaking dog in the background of that one too, barking, and like we couldn't hear the guy talking when the shots were fired. Every time there seems to be a dog. It's like the dogs know. They're like, we're going to help our owners by covering up the audio. All right, we'll listen to the rest, and then I have some body cam too. Hold on.
Okay. And I was talking to Mark, and you can't seem to get any consistency in the timelines of when somebody accessed the storage. But he said 25th, 26th, 27th. And I said, well, 27th would have been you guys, and maybe the 26th or something. But there was no way I was in that storage unit on those days. The other thing is that we were trying to find out where his Omega watch was, and he said, "Oh, it was in a box at the foot of his bed." Well, we've cleaned out his room,
Sure.
so I gave a lot of that toy stuff to a friend of mine, and so I was going to go over there tomorrow to see if that watch was there, but we came across the Omega bag with the watch in it,
Huh.
which was in the storage room.
Yeah.
So
Where was it at in the storage shed? Like all this stuff was in the storage shed together, or?
yeah, I mean, were you there when they looked at? Okay, so you have the racks on the right.
Mhm.
You have the racks on the right, and then there was a bit of a space you could walk through.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so it was back just to the left in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So he could have pulled some stuff out, buried it, and covered it back up, and no one would have been the wiser.
Sure. Sure.
So now that's when we couldn't figure out, trying to figure whether he accessed the storage unit or not, and what he was doing here for an hour and 15 minutes. Now with discovery of that and the Omega bag.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I had them pull the records again from the storage unit, and it wasn't, like I said, I think I told you that last time I was here,
Yeah.
January or February, well, whenever you went there, because
Yeah, 2 weeks prior to that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's all that they were able to see. So I don't know what Kissimmee has or what because I gave them those records, so I don't.
Yeah, he has the same records because Mark was reviewing it. I said, look, I wasn't there the 25th, the 26th,
Yeah.
or the 27th.
Yeah.
One of those days had to be you
And I
guys.
was
No,
there
you would have been you guys, because if they're going off by access code.
Yeah, and that's so the storage unit itself, like, it printed a bunch of numbers where it looks like it's access, but I was able to get them to filter it down
Yeah.
to where your access, like their system creates logs where they just run checks on all the users randomly to make sure people are in good standing. And it was the way it was presented to us was that those were access times, but that ended up not being the case. So that's definitely interesting. If maybe a gate was open then, or
So he called us this afternoon, and I didn't say anything. I said, hey, I'm in the process of returning this truck. He goes, truck? What was that? I said, I just cleared out the storage unit.
Mhm.
Wasn't there a bit of a pause?
It was.
Yeah, there was a bit of a pause, and he said, oh, okay, that's interesting. Something like that. Yeah. So
he said that's
he didn't ask any questions, but now he's got to know that this stuff is at the house.
sure.
But he doesn't know that you got it.
No, I
No,
know.
we
And it's,
can't. We can't have this.
no, absolutely. And that's, no.
It's evidence.
Yeah, it's evidence. It's terrible things on it. And I know you guys are torn between. I can't imagine. Again, I'm a father. I can't imagine. It's a rock and a hard
You know
place.
you would. You know that you would give up evidence.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'm just saying, like,
You know,
emotionally,
I still love my
like,
son. I don't
my heart
care,
goes out to you
I
guys.
still love
Absolutely.
But I do not condone this shit.
No.
She says there, I still love my son, but I don't condone what he did. That's very different from their attitude throughout this whole entire thing. Their whole attitude throughout this entire thing has sort of been, oh, we love our son. He can do no wrong. I mean, we've heard those video calls earlier this year from prison. I played them on this channel, and you can hear him talking to his mom and dad from prison. They don't really sound like people who are like, oh, we very much, don't condone what you did. It very much sounds like they're just saying that to save face with the officer, because those private phone calls from prison don't sound anything like that. They sound very much like, our son can do no wrong. Like, they're asking him, like, did you find anything in the legal paperwork? Did you find a way to get this sort of pushed onto Jen? They kept talking about how you need to get this sort of pushed onto her. Like, she's responsible too. Well, I agree with that, but they're very much avoiding sort of the hard topics here, which is what your son has done. He's killed a 13-year-old child after molesting her for, several years. And, there's levels of offending with CA, right? There just is. It's not very nice. It's just a fact. The levels of offending that he went to are pretty up there. Like, it's, there's a difference between like, and it feels horrible to even give an example, but like, say, like touching over clothes, like that would be probably in the court considered like it's horrible nonetheless, and it is a crime, and it disturbs the victims in the same way. But in the court of law, it'd be considered like low level offending. The offending that he did to Madeline it's way up there. It's he's in that higher level of it's, people who do really awful things to children. His offending is disgusting. It really is. The elephant in the room. Exactly. This is not a new case. We've done it before. This is Stephan Stearns. He killed Madeline Soto. Kaliza said, it's stupid Deb and Chris keep acting like SS was not there, even though he was living with them and had a house key, and the cameras just happened to not be working that night. Yeah, it's very convenient. Everything's very convenient for them. But hey, he's a bit of a soy boy and a mummy's boy, and we've heard stories of him coming home and mummy drops food at his door like he's 12 and has been spanked for getting bad grades or something. Like, he's almost 40. Treat him as such. Treat him as the adult, the murderer, and SA person that he is and is now proven. All right.
Absolutely. And everybody has their days at court too, so it's not, it's still
Yeah, but we
America.
can't go to court because we're going to be attacked.
You think?
Verbally.
This is America. We all have our days in court. To do what exactly? Plead guilty? Sure. To allow everyone to see the heinous crimes that you committed? Sure. To be found not guilty? No, not in this particular one. No. The Landrys or laundries? The laundries. The Landrys. Very strange, both from Florida. Is there something in the water there? I don't know. But yeah, very similar to the laundries or Landrys or however you want to pronounce it. Very similar. His mum, I'll bake you a cake and I'll hide a body for you or whatever. Like, absolute. It's some of the most psychologically disturbing kind of, when you see what these people have done, and I get it. It's one thing to still love your child. They'll always be like, loved by you in a way, but not like I'm gonna break you out of prison and help you bury a body. That's not Stephan Stearns. That's the laundries. But yeah, it's a little disturbing that you would go to such extremes to save someone who killed another human being, and you're okay with it. You're like, you killed your girlfriend? Yeah, I could live with that. That's all right. She was a bitch anyway. That's fine. We didn't like her anyway. We thought you should marry a different girl. Remember that girl that lived down the road, Jenny? Yeah, that girl. You should have married her. That's all right. You killed that one? No worries. That's fine. We'll help you. Yeah. It's bizarre.
Possibly physically.
Yeah, it's just a circus out there.
Oh, one woman has already said, I'm going to come up
Have you
there,
guys
I'm
had
gonna come up
issues
there."
here yet?
Oh,
Or-
No, not
just on the
since,
phone.
not since the initial, I think it was Jordan Chen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice. I met him the first day he showed up, so I really appreciate that.
Mhm.
But no, not since the initial, but we're just waiting for that shoe to drop. We're thinking that when they finally release the information and arrest him, that all this attention would be deflected to her
Sure.
and her family, and then a lot of it hopefully removed from us. But Stephan, I don't recall what he said exactly, but just his response, that his tone or what have you.
I said, I'm aware. I know that you did not kill her.
Mhm.
I did. And he said, well, Mom, he says, yes, and there were a lot of other people involved.
Sure.
But he couldn't come out and say, oh, I didn't do it. He just,
Sure.
because everything's being recorded.
But anyway,
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
that's what
the
yeah.
jail calls.
And I wanted it that way,
Yeah.
so the police could pick up on it. So I told Mark, I said, just listen to the phone call. And tomorrow we're going to try to have a conversation with them to convince him, supposedly he's asked God for forgiveness.
Sure.
That, if you've done that, then the next step is prove it and tell the police the truth and get this over with.
Come out with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We told him to quit falling on the sword, quit protecting her.
It's not worth it. It's not.
She's in a,
Yeah.
her attorney put her in a mental hospital so she could hide and she can't be questioned.
Sure.
Well, is that true? And especially in a murder case?
No, I mean, there's like people have different rights to private, HIPAA and all those things that apply, but
She's working
no,
up,
I mean, you
she's
can't just
working
run
up a
away.
great-
Like, we'll
a
find
great,
you.
Can't be held responsible for her mental condition.
Yeah.
But she did it.
So you're up in Welland Park?
Yeah, there's a substation out there. So that's where me and a couple other detectives are out there as well.
Oh, my God.
See, they flip flop. They go from being, oh, our son should just own up to what he did, and then they flip and they're like, no, it's all Jen. It's all Jen. Make her, it's all her. Our son, he did nothing. There's all these other people involved. Who are these other people? Like ninjas? Are they like a secret society? Should we all be careful? Should we all look around and like get security cameras and like who are these other magical people? I'm concerned. Like it's very strange and they're like, yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this, I sort of agree with them about Jen, but the way they're applying that doesn't make any sense because no one would have ever known about Jen had Stephan not offended against the child. So it's sort of a chicken before the egg situation because it all comes back to him. While she's just as, culpable in a certain way, the child is taken from this earth and essayed because of him. So you can skirt around the truth all you want, but at the end of the day, the one sitting in a prison cell is your son. And the one that's, been sentenced is your son. So I don't know how you rectify that with your own mind, but you're going to have to. Kaliza said Deb and Chris have been protecting their baby boy by throwing everyone else under the bus his whole life. I agree. Was he in a coma from that car accident? I'm not sure. What's her explanation of all the evidence on the son's electron? Yeah, which I have, and I've read through all those evidence that were put into evidence from his mobile cellular devices. Some of the hardest reading I've ever read in true crime. It is horrible. Very, very gross. Very gross. All right.
That's where my office is.
I see that they're talking about building a second downtown in the paper today. I don't know if that'll ever come to fruition.
Are you some sort of like, starved person of a human attention or something? What are you talking to the cop about? Like, oh, mate, I hear they're going to build a second police station down the road. Do you think that's what he gets paid for, to come and have a chat and a coffee with you about, new buildings being built for the cops? Like, how starved of human affection are you that you need to get it from a police officer? Because that's what he's doing. You just say, thanks for the info, officer. Bye. You don't have to be like, oh, how's your wife? Oh, I hear your kid plays in the soccer team down the road. The date of this interview? Yeah, hold on. It is the 11th of April, 2024 is the date for this interview with Christopher and Deb. So, all right, we'll play the rest of it.
They're talking about building it out here.
I know. It's as soon as, the whole Yorkshire area, especially how Northport's exploding, whichever developer bites the bullet, builds the infrastructure, it's going to
I thought they
shoot
were
up.
supposed to be opening up that exit ramp.
That's going to be a huge one too.
But when? I thought it was supposed to be last
That's
year.
all state funds and FHP. You know, like they're
That's
because
another
it's all.
question.
What's
That's
that?
another question. They've got quite the little money scam going at that jail.
Mm.
They take 10% for processing what we put into his commissary, $2 a day for him being in jail, $5 to get a Tylenol, $10 to meet with his attorney, 21 cents a minute for the phone call and whatever it takes.
Actually, this might be the smartest and the truest thing I've ever heard come out of her mouth. It is actually a giant racket in these jails in America. It's a giant racket. Any of this kind of communication or the credits or whatever on the tablets and things like that, it costs a freaking fortune. Depending on which state you are in America, is depending on which company does all like the telecommunications in the jails. And like she says, it can cost, like they have a minimum amount that you have to put on. Some of them it's like $50 that you could, like it's a minimum you have to put on the like the tablets to be able to send messages or phone calls or video chat. Some of them have like some free credits that you can get. And I get it's a jail. I understand that. But it doesn't cost this type of money to admit or provide this service to the people in jail. It is a massive scam, massive. And in New York and New Jersey and a couple, I think Virginia and a couple of other states, they uncovered like a massive racket, like siphoning money out of like prisoners and their families because of these charges. They found out 90% of the charges don't relate to any service being provided. It's just pure profit. And I get it's America. It's a land of economic, you make your money how you make your money, right? But it's also one thing to just vacuum money from vulnerable people in jail. Like they don't have vast amounts of cash reserves. So some states do it differently where they actually have very cheap phone calls and very cheap messages. Some are even free to use the tablet. The only one you get charged for is actual phone calls. But I think in Florida you get charged for just about everything. So it's pretty crazy. I think via the tablet. I think so anyway. I think that's what they're talking about. Save money and stay out of jail. Yeah, it's crazy. I was looking into it about a year ago and I was doing like a deep dive on these companies that run the telecommunications in the jails, and it's crazy because first you have to be approved. Then when you get approved, you have to add money, and then it's really like convoluted the way they make it happen. It's crazy. Marlene says I give financial advice every Thursday. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It can be. And phone calls are like charged at like $2 a minute. Very, very expensive. Cleesa said also in some prisons the food is so inedible that they basically have to pay massive amounts for commissary just to get edible food each day. I have heard this, and I don't know what the difference is between private prisons and state run, but some of them are like, up and down, depending on the company. Hey, by the way, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. Can we get to 50 likes today? I'd appreciate if we get to 100. We've been sitting just under 100 on a lot of the videos recently. I'd appreciate if we can get over that 100 each day. It really helps with the visibility on the algorithm. Joe says, by the way, thank you for the super chat and the 12 months of being a member. I appreciate it. Joe says the right wing. I don't know what that means. Yeah. All right.
For the initial price of the call,
You know what that means?
crime doesn't pay.
You know what that means?
That means we get punished.
Crime doesn't pay.
No, I don't even work in that. Yeah, there's criminal justice and within that's law enforcement, corrections, and the courts. I don't work the corrections side.
Well, I tell you, if you got any information on how I can get a duplicate title for that car so we can sell it, so we can fund them.
I mean, I would reach out to
attorney, and they won't give it. They won't let us get in to get it.
If not that way, I mean, there may be. I'd reach out to the civil court, to the South County one here, and just there's got to be a process. You know what I mean? As far as I'm sure there has to.
They have to be other people
It may be
charged.
something where you have to take litigation against your son, even though it's not going to go anywhere just to get the title. I don't know what the answer is.
It's paid for.
Do you need
Can I
to sign
steal?
anything?
Yeah, I got to write this stuff down real quick.
You
And,
got a pen?
yeah, I sure do. Do you mind if I set this here?
Go ahead.
What's the note? Do we know? Or I'll pop it open. So.
Everything was wrapped up in that piece of paper.
Okay. So, and that were they in here in the Ziploc bags like this? Too?
No, they were loose. They were wrapped up in this piece of
Loose.
paper. I transferred to the Ziploc bag,
Okay.
and it was in a drawer and a chest that had a sliding drawer
Just hidden away.
or a tray on top of it. So if you opened up the drawer, you didn't see it. But then you,
And I mean that I can speak to just that night as well. We weren't necessarily looking for little devices. We're more focused on with her. Medical stuff.
oh, recipe.
Recipe
Could be good.
could be a good one. So a decent cook.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very select item stuff. And I don't know why he had two different driver's licenses, one with this address, one for Kissimmee, and what he was using for a driver's license.
We might have kept them open once.
All right. Here, I want to show you something. So this is from a supplemental report, and you can see here where they talk about the Kissimmee area, and they say they're talking about Madeline has not been located. They say Stephan was arrested for SB and CP for what was found on his cell phone. And they say further investigation revealed Stephan may have come to Northport where his parents live and entered into his father's storage facility on the 28th of February 2024. They said it was believed that Stephan may have used his father's storage unit, and the Kissimmee detectives explained to us that someone used the father's code to get in, and the father saying that he lost a key to the unit months ago and he cannot find it. Stephan is believed to have been at the storage unit for less than 10 minutes before he heads back to I-75. At the time I arrived, the officer, Kissimmee detectives believe that Redacted may be deceased and her body might be located in the storage unit. He says, I assisted in searching the storage units on the property with two different officers. They said nothing was found. He says he was then assisting with reviewing a search warrant for a storage unit. The warrant was signed and the storage container was searched with negative results in locating Madeline. Once this was accomplished, the scene was released and I cleared the area, nothing further. So that is sort of related to the storage unit that you're hearing in that audio. So there you go, just a bit of background for you. All right.
You know how they say you never really know someone?
Sure.
We never saw this side of him, not ever.
No. And nobody. That's her too, right?
I guess. And he was not a spoiled mama's boy because I'm the disciplinarian.
Sorry, what was that? Did you just say he's not a spoiled mama's boy? I disagree. I firmly disagree with your assertion there, Deb. I could not I could not disagree anymore. He is a mummy's boy. He is a child trapped in a man's body. Literally, he is a man child, and you can see that in a lot of different of his behavior. He is definitely does not act his age, does not. It's like what they call like failure to launch. Remember that movie, Failure to Launch, with Kate Hudson in it, and they talk about how this guy wouldn't leave the home because he had like a failure to launch, whatever they call it, stunted development. Seems very much like Stephen Stearns. He has a stunted development, and he does have some failure to launch in life. He just trapped as a 17-year-old kid.
They blame everything on the mother for having him. It's my fault.
It's not your fault.
I don't know what that was for, but I guess it.
That's I didn't.
So basically, he doesn't want people knowing he's the one coming to get it.
Oh, for sure.
He doesn't want his face on camera so somebody can find him. And he don't blame him.
No, not at all. Can't knock it. Not one bit. This is just the hard drive, right?
Yeah. We don't know what's on it because we haven't put it in there.
Sure.
I like how they automatically rule themselves out from any sort of like crime. They're like, "Oh, we don't know what's on there. Oh, we didn't connect it." Are you sure? You answered that awfully quickly that you don't know what's on that hard drive. You're like, "Oh, we don't know. We don't know anything about the CP that's on that hard drive. None at all. We don't know. Maybe you will know when you plug it in and look at it. But we've never seen any type of that on there."
Yeah, I was really surprised to hear when I called Mark about the USB drive, and he says, by the way, did you know the hard drive is missing in that? I go, no. Didn't bother to look.
Yeah, I took it and put it in a box, called them, and they came down.
And so you didn't know the hard drive was missing?
No, I didn't even bother. I called them up and I said, "Look, I have this. I'm gonna tape it up and keep it secure for you guys and let your lab do what you guys need to do." So
Yeah, he said, no hard drive, which explains why the side of the computer was off.
yeah, I thought, I saw that too.
Off to keep it cool.
Keep it cool. It's a gaming computer. It's hot, But,
and I said, well, that's strange because I felt fairly certain Sunday morning he was on the computer. So he must have taken it with him and then decided that, maybe not so smart to be driving around with this.
Sure.
He told us he's experiencing PTSD. You don't do that if you mean to kill somebody.
No.
You do it when you see somebody killed and you've been put in a bad position.
And I'm a big believer in the, like you guys said too, like put your money where your mouth is and come out with the truth. But I think that it always.
I wish I had my swear button because I need it right now. All I can think of is shut the F up, Deb. Oh, they throw out like every sort of, they maneuver constantly. They're just trying to, it's like they're trying to find a way around their son's crime. He's definitely got PTSD and he's damaged, and no, that's not how this works. That's not how this works. He doesn't have PTSD from the crime that he committed. I mean, he might, but he still committed the crime, and no one gives a stuff about his PTSD or whatever he's going on. We care about the victim. We care about the victim. you need to come to a very clear rationalization about your life in the future. That besides the crime that he committed, no one gives an F about your son. No one. No one gives a stuff. No one cares what he's going through. No one cares. I don't care. A lot of other people don't care. The cop doesn't care. Do you know what the cops do? The cops solve crimes. That's what they do. They're not here to be your personal therapist. They're not here to be like your best mate and hang out at your house while they take evidence. Like, oh, let me take this hard drive. Do you want a coffee? I'll get you a beer. Let's talk about Highway I-75 down the road. That's being. Oh, did they open that on ramp? No. They need to come to that realization that their son will forever be known for what he did to that little girl, and no one will ever give an F about him personally. You might, being his parents, but ain't no one else give an F. You know, they need to come to that rationalization very quickly. The thing I've noticed is they rattle off all the things you expect them to say, and then they backtrack on it almost immediately. Like they'll say all the things you think a offender's parent should say, and then they'll be like, "Oh no, our son, you know, he has all the information to implicate everyone else and, you know, save himself. All he has to do is tell the truth." The truth is there for everyone to see already. We already know he ain't hiding no secrets. You know, it's really frustrating to listen to. All right, let's finally get to the end of this stupid thing.
Yeah, it goes full circle kind of thing. Yeah.
These people who are calling into YouTube, if they had spent as much time in school studying as they did putting together a tube shoot of lies, I don't even know who they were talking about. Do I yell? Oh yeah, I yell. I don't see my yell.
Rick Foley. Dude, he's got some hot news.
When did you recover this stuff?
Say around noon.
Around hours. Yeah, I apologize.
Well, this was I called Mark. So this was recovered at noon, but this was recovered
earlier.
Yeah, let me tell you.
I'll just put on here hard drive.
March 19th.
Okay.
I notified Mark. Yeah, March 19th. I notified him March 19th at 5:52 p.m.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. The last minute is just more of that silence and the cop writing stuff down or writing out an evidence ticket. There you go. Interview from last year in April. Four Sons Mom said, guess what? Some of those YouTube people are more educated than you and your husband and Predator's son. Maybe you should consider listening to those YouTube people. I agree. I think it's very frustrating to hear them talk, especially because they come across as very self-centered, and I understand that that might be the natural thing to sort of feel at the time that it's sort of you against the world. But I've also seen some perpetrators' families handle these type of situations really well. And do you know what they do? They cooperate. They come out and just absolutely 100%, you know, say like we're repulsed by what our family member has done. We support the victim's family, whatever, and they do a really good job of basically showing the world that that's not them. But what these two have done is basically show the world that they're willing to back their son 100 times out of 100, and they don't really care what he's done. And that might not even be the truth, but that's sort of the display that they put on to everyone else. And it's very sad. And I mean, I get it. Their life has changed forever. Like whatever they thought their twilight years were going to be, whatever their retirement was going to be, it's going to be very different now. Very different. Their life will change forever. But you can't walk around being like, my son's holding on to all this secret information, and he's definitely going to tell the truth, and he's going to get Jen into trouble, and all the ninjas that helped kill that little girl, he's definitely going to roll on them and get time off his sentence. And at some point, you just need to accept that the evidence is overwhelming. And I think we're so far past that line already. The evidence in the Stephan Stern and Madeline Soto case is just so overwhelming. It's not, you couldn't even call it a circumstantial case because it's not. There's direct evidence here of what he did, and they're just going to have to come to terms with it somehow, and that this is what their son did. In a way, they're also victims because it's robbed them of their life too. But trying to shield him all the time is not going to help them at all. Hold on, guys. Hey guys, give me 5 minutes, I'll be back. I know, entertain yourselves. Sorry about the blank space. Hey guys, sorry. No, we got some neighbors who needed my neighbors always need help at most random times. So sorry about the blank air. Hopefully they won't knock on my door again. Hopefully. Here, you guys can watch a bit of this CCTV here. Let me get you up to the good bit. Body cam. It was in the ether for a little bit. Sorry about that. So this body cam is from the 28th of the 2nd, 2024. So there you go. Sorry about that. Let's see. Hey, by the way, thank you to my friend Kathy. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. You've been final on your own? All right. Yeah. Yeah. It's what happens when you live in a place that has a lot of like older people. Unfortunately, but it's fine. All right. I feel like we're going to get a jump scare at any point here. And it's going to be like a screen's going to stop. All right.
Thank you, Josh. Thanks, buddy. You do your thing. All right. I appreciate you.
It gets redacted for a minute, unfortunately. But it'll come back. So this is another view, another angle from the 28th. 28th of the 2nd. I think it's on the screen. Yeah, 28th of the 2nd, 2024. Oh, yeah, I know. All right. Let's see if we get any more audio. They do this in Australia too. They'll give you like 20 seconds of audio throughout the whole thing, and the rest of it is redacted. Yeah, it's been wet in Sydney this year. Been wet in Sydney. Diane said, I wish I had a neighbor to help me sometimes. I know what that must be like. He's saying that the pizza we had last night is maybe. All right. It's nice that they gave us the fully redacted version. We're gonna have to all learn interpretive hand signals. That's what we're gonna have to do. So if you have any ideas, you'll have to let me know. Yeah, let's see if it gets any better. Yeah, let's go. So they're at the storage. This is what this is, the storage search. That's what they were doing. What's it called? Life storage. And the whole thing is redacted. That's what we got. we got 1 second of audio, and then the whole thing's redacted. All we got is the video. I think we got a couple of different angles. Hold on. This was the other one? No, that's the other one. I'll show you the other one in a minute, but yeah, just some more body cam from that storage unit. What else have we got? We got this. We did that one. What else we got in this other bit? No, I don't think you guys want to see that. You know, we also got the surveillance for King Road, but I think everyone's seen it. You guys have all seen the surveillance for the Coburger thing, haven't you? I don't think anyone wants to watch it. I think it's pretty boring. Let's see. Got that. Hold on, guys. All right, what else do we have? A Northport Police incident report. So let's get something more interesting. So the body cams weren't that interesting. They're pretty boring. It just basically shows the search of that storage area from like 3 different angles. Not that interesting, especially because we don't get any audio for it. But let's see what it says here. Body worn camera used narrative on the 28th. That's what we were just watching. 2024 at approximately 1921 hours. They said, I responded to the area of 1001 Executive Avenue Life Storage in response to an assist other agency call. The complainant, Corporal Evan Avila of the Orange County Sheriff's Office, contacted the Northport Police Department in reference to a case that they were currently investigating, the Madeline Soto case. They say Sergeant Fisher spoke to the corporal. Corporal relayed that there was a reason to believe a suspect, a Stephan Stearns, who they currently had in custody, had been at this location sometime earlier in the day. There was a reason to believe that the suspect had possibly left a body of a deceased victim at this location based off an investigative information that they currently had. Orange County deputies advised that the suspect was currently under arrest for SB and possession of CP involving the victim. It was relayed that the victim was last seen in an abnormal state, not moving for several hours, in the front seat of a vehicle at an apartment complex in their jurisdiction. They believe the victim in this case was reported as a missing child. The rest of that paragraph is redacted, probably something about Madeline. They say here, once on scene, the commander, Sergeant Fisher, and that officer checked the area, searching to see if they could locate anything suspicious in nature. That's the video that you're watching. So the first video that we watched, this one is them just searching around. So you can see they're just searching the area. Yeah, I'm going to pause it, but I'll let it play. And then they said here that they managed to get a hold of a key holder for the location who was able to identify the locker/storage unit that was possibly utilized by Stephan Stearns. They say, what else do they say here? They say the Sarasota search and rescue team eventually was requested to respond to the location to check the area with their cadaver dogs, along with Sergeant Johnson checking the rooftops of the building with a department UAV drone. They then say, I then remained on scene and was informed that the detectives of the Northport Police Department would be responding out to this location to conduct further investigation for this incident. Eventually, the Northport Police Department detectives, along with the detectives from the Kissimmee Police Department, responded to the scene. They say, I completed a crime scene log for this incident. This concludes my involvement with the incident. So that's what you're seeing, this search of this action body cam. What else is on here? There you go. You can see it. This looks like the body cam for the other one. Sorry. This one is the one in relation to the search. Sorry about that. You can see them pull up to that search locker. The other one is a different search. They said that Stephan might have been in the area earlier in the day before he was in police custody, and at the time they thought he may have put a dead body in the storage locker. So they had gone out there to basically see if any of that was true, see if they could find any suspicious items, anything that would indicate a crime or a missing child, but they didn't find anything. So that's what you're seeing on this video here. Just them trying to search for something that they're not sure is there, basically. That's it. They're just trying to follow up a lead, basically. Here. Hold on. Someone is messaging me. Cancel. Yeah, so that's what you're seeing there. That's what that supplemental report stated. Gave a bit of insight into the activity. Let's see, case number. Yeah, what does this one say? Judge of the Circuit Court, laws prohibiting SB, familial or custodial, controlled by Florida state statutes, have been violated by Stephan Michael Stearns. They said that the officer had reason to believe and does believe that the evidence connected with the crime is currently located at Life Storage. That's the storage locker you just saw on the body cam. The description and location of the premises to be searched is as follows. So this is a search warrant for that location. Yeah, just basically a search warrant. What are they saying here? They're saying a license plate reader captured Stephan driving a 4-door silver Lincoln with a Florida tag IYLL82, which is registered to Stephan's father, Christopher, driving away from the school at approximately 8:10 a.m. It should be noted that Christopher Stern is located in Northport. During the interview with Stephan, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he had accidentally performed 2 factory resets on his phone on February 26, 2024, the same day, just happens to be the same day that Madeline went missing. Stephan provided his phone number. Yeah, this is just going through like their... Oh, yeah, let's not do that. No, let's not do that. You guys didn't read any of that. None of that. These are not the droids you're looking for. Yeah, Life Storage was the name of that storage facility. Like a storage, where you rent a storage locker. Here, I'll show you the... Here, there you go. See? Life Storage. This was the... you guys would have them in your city, probably under 20 different names. Like, there's probably all different ones that you would have. Yeah, Sean, please feed your animal. Etc. 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 Yeah. Joe Neal said there's probably a kosher place. I don't know if there is. Here, let me see. Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, lots of things. Lots of things. Anything else here? that Christopher indicated he did not know why Stephan would have drove to Northport on the 28th of Feb 2024 when he should have been in Kissimmee, and they say he should have been in Kissimmee searching for Madeline. Christopher advised his wife, Deborah, had been home with the dogs during the time frame that Madeline went missing, and stated Stephan had not shown up at their residence in Northport on the 28th. And they're saying, so this is that body cam. It's almost a replay of that body cam or audio that we had where the officer is talking to Deb and Chris. They're basically relaying it here in a warrant form, showing that like, oh, he could have been at the storage facility. Maybe he dumped something there. Yeah, so that's what this is. Basically, what are they? Evidence sought. They're looking for the victim or clothing that she was wearing or photographs of the scene or any other evidence, implements, devices related to the subject matter of this warrant that could be used in further violation or have been used in violation of the laws of the state of Florida in order that evidence may be procured to be used in the prosecution of criminal laws of the state of Florida. So there you go. Search warrant to search that storage locker. Yeah. There you go. There was an affidavit and an application. All right. You have fun cooking your kosher food. Rachel said, didn't they later figure out that Stephan Stone never went to the storage facility? I think so. I think it was just a lead that they were basically following up on. All right, there we go. Let's see. What else do we have? I don't think anything else is all that interesting. There's another interview here. One more audio interview that we can listen to. And what is this one called? It doesn't give me much of a description. Smug something interview. All right, we'll listen and find out.
Today's date is March 1st, at 17:40 p.m. Myself, Detective St. Jean, and Detective out at 2341 Snug in reference to an agency assist with Orange County.
You and your wife again too about it. Can I have everything here? Oh no, we were hoping to talk with you and your wife again about the other day. You and your son. And just him traveling back here.
Your second hand, I'd rather he's here.
We'd like to talk about this.
Were you here the other day? No, I was. Oh, you were? Yeah, just for a bit. I was down the road.
Sure. I mean, you want to come in? The dogs are out.
You're outside.
Okay, yeah.
Back there.
No, I had an energy drink. More coffee, I'd probably explode.
I won't go to sleep tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
How old are they?
The one jumping is 3. The one next to us, her sister, Texas, is 2. The 2 black ones are little mate. The 2 big black ones, the boys.
Mhm.
They're going to be 7. And the little one in front is Abby, and she's just 5.
You guys foster or what?
I bred all of these dogs.
Oh, okay.
These are
Hey,
the ones that one right there.
Yes, sir.
I have it on my desk.
Not worried about it.
Okay. All right.
Not worried about
It's America. All right.
it.
I'm sitting there going, I used to be in law enforcement a long time ago,
where'd you work for?
Orange County.
Oh, okay. Were you a deputy up there? Or?
Yeah, I did law enforcement for a couple of years, and then I got a bug up my butt to get into working with the food company in sales, because the apartment I lived at, there was a guy that worked for Stouffer Foods, and he was always on the phone making reservations for hotels, dinner, and golf. And he had a company car.
Yeah.
And I said, I want a job like that. So I went to Atlanta and got a job with Campbell Soup.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. So I spent 20 years in the food business. So.
They really do seem like people who are attention starved of human contact. They're like, oh, in 1975, I did a couple of years of policing, and then I found out about these newfangled inventions. They're called canned soup. So I went and worked for Campbell's in the food preparation business. It's yeah, it's like every time someone speaks to them, they have to go on a spiel about like their life decisions and how they got to this point. Every audio we've listened to.
So yeah,
Nice.
Probably better than civil service.
well, you know, once you get it in your blood, you can't get out.
Yeah.
And I told the detective in Orange County, I said, I moved from Jacksonville to Orlando, rented a truck, moved down, and I was taking the truck back Sunday evening. I had to be in Jacksonville for a meeting 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's late. I'm traveling on 436 towards I-4. I'm in Castleberry at the intersection of 436 and 1792, and I'm behind this green pickup truck. And I noticed he was kind of weaving. Okay. So he goes through the intersection, and this guy is like weaving all over the place. And I look up ahead, and there's a guy riding a bike on the side of the road. And he pulls all the way over to the right. I go, motherfucker, he's going to hit that. And he hit him and sent him flying.
Oh, God.
And then he kept going. And here I am racing to catch up to him to get the license plate number in this stupid truck. It's got a governor on it, I think. He pulls in the parking lot of the ABC liquor store, and he turns around and looks at me. And I said, thank you. I got your face. And immediately jumped out, went to the payphone, called out about police PD.
So not only are they people who, you know, they say some people are like people of few words. Not these people. These people have all the words, apparently. And not only that, but he's a tattletale. I don't know if he's a good citizen or he's just a tattletale. But he's like, oh, I followed the guy, and I saw him, and then I was like, no, thanks. I got his face, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to the payphone, and I'm gonna call 911. It's like, oh, it never leaves your blood, does it, Chris? That 2 years that you worked for the PD in 1943, it never leaves your blood. Joe Neal said they're going to have hypertension. I don't know if these people might have hypertension. Yeah, I don't know.
And gave them the information and told them what direction I thought he went. They came up with taking my story. They came up to take my story. In the meantime, I went back to get the guy, and I'm thinking as I'm walking up to him, I said, I better let him know that I was there to help him, and I didn't hit him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because he could, come up swinging, what have you. I have carried him and the bike and got back out to the ABC store, and then while they were interviewing me, they got a radio call that they got the guy.
Oh.
So long story short, I didn't get out of there until after I gave my report till midnight. Meanwhile, I still got to get back to Jacksonville, and that's a 2.5 hour drive.
If I was the cop, I'd be like, how did I get to this point in my life where I'm standing in this guy's living room, listening to this random ass story about following a truck, and then there was a bicycle, and then I still had to get to Jacksonville? This is like the longest winded story. Like, is there not a version of this particular story where it's only like about a sentence and a half? It's almost like he's got his own podcast. It's like secret podcasting, but doing it through the police officer's, body camera. That's what it is. This is episode 2, apparently. Yeah, he definitely has a lot. He may have talking disorder where he talks too much.
The truck breaks down. It's south of where I live. These sailors come by, they pick me up and they drop me off. Let me just tell you, it was a long Monday morning. That's all I can say.
Start of the week too, right?
And after that good deed that you did, your car broke down. What the heck?
Well, of course,
he was most famous for getting calls when he was in an orange grove and he got his car stuck 3 times.
Well, no. So nature called, and I slid into the orange grove and got the car stuck. But wait. Twice that night.
Oh, nice.
Can you imagine me taking the car back and handing the keys to the sergeant? And it was like, I wish there were cell phones back then. I could have got somebody. You had to go over to a certain channel and they say, "Hey, John, my supervisor, switch over to channel 9." And so I gave him the information. Now I could hear him calling the sergeant. They went to scramble here. So you could tell the sergeant was talking at that time. It was all scrambled.
Someone take that noise that he just made and on their channel, whenever he pops up in the media, you can play that little noise. Oh, we've got Chris again on Christopher Stearns. You could just do that every time. It'd be funny as hell. This audio goes for 45 minutes. We're already about 6 minutes into it, and the cops themselves have said about 2 words. I know that's what police want. They want them to talk. But they're talking about stories from their glory years back in 35 years ago. It's the cops are like, "We're here to interview you about your son." They're like, "No, wait. I have to tell you about that time that I got stuck twice in the mud." Yeah, you have to hear about it. I talked to my sergeant and I had to get back to Jacksonville. And they're all like, all right, Grandpa, calm down. We'll let you tell your story. Don't get too riled up. Your blood pressure medication, make sure you take it. We don't need anyone having a coronary today. Calm down, sir.
It was like, there wasn't a hole big enough for me to go hide after the second time. First time, okay. Second time,
it's on you, right?
I don't think this works good out for me. So stay out of the orange groves. Anyway, how can I help you guys?
So just
You want to sit down?
No, I would sit all day.
Okay.
Sit by the desk. Typing all day.
I have 2 new knees. I don't.
You sit. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's your house.
Yeah, this is your house.
Yeah, no, we're just stopping by.
Me, I just pay rent.
Yeah, right.
That's all my wife. It's like Sure World. I just live in it. So the morning of and everything, you were up. I know you already had this all out with Orange County guys.
Yeah, I was at the hotel until I was up at 6:30. I wanted to get to the office by 8:00 before the 8:30 meeting, and so that's like a 20-minute ride. So I'm pretty sure I left just around 8:00 thereabouts. So as far as I knew, everybody was tucked in bed at 3:15 when I left them.
Sure.
I was on the opposite ends. Had no idea where they were parked. I had to find the last parking spot out in 40 acres out. But I had no idea that Stephan had left the hotel until 9:45 Wednesday morning.
Okay, until 9:45. So
Yeah.
was that? How did you find that? Was it the
Called me.
Okay.
Called me to ask if Stephan was with me. And I said, no. Why? Well, he's not in the room. I said, well, how long has he been gone? 25 minutes. I said, okay. We'll go down the lobby and find out if he's in the lobby. So then I hung up and I called back and I go, are your car keys there? And she looked around and said, no. Okay. Then much later in the day, I found out it was more than 45 minutes. Because she said she woke up at 9. She called me at 9:45.
Oh.
So then I said, okay, it was really 45 minutes, which kind of blew me away because the last time I saw Stephan at 3:15, he looked physically, mentally drained.
Sure.
And I figured they both had, and that they were both going to crash and burn hard. And my son, it'd be 100 years before he'd get up. But obviously, shows you how much I knew.
Sure. Yeah, and it's
I mean, I was blown away when the detective told me that, asked me what exit number I lived at, and I said 179. What road is that? I said Toledo Blade, and he said, well, we have evidence that Stephan was exiting at 7:45 this morning.
Well, the storage unit's over Toledo Blade too.
So yes, so I did some math and figuring out, well, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, he had to leave like at 4:30 to get down there at 7:45. God forbid what the traffic would be like out of Orlando on I-4, the intersection of 75 and then Sarasota. Yeah, you got three of those. And when I came home Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm looking at the northbound traffic, 2 times I saw huge lines of traffic stalled. And I said, he must have had the luck of Irish with him or something going back north, because you never know what to experience, especially trying to get back during rush hour, what have you. Then he came back and he came back to the hotel room about between 11:15 and 11:30, because by that time I was over there.
Okay.
Because they called and said, hey, we're going to come over and we'll be at the hotel in an hour. I go, oh shit. Sure. Okay, he's not going to be there. There's going to be a bolo out for him, whatever. Right. And then he showed up, and then the police never showed up. So I said, okay, that was a ruse. They were checking to see if she would say, well, he's not here.
Sure.
So she didn't say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what time did he get? You said 11:15 back to the hotel.
Somewhere between 11:15 and 11:30. Okay. Because I was thinking, well, when's the hour? I said, I thought 11:30 was the witching hour, and he came in before that.
Sure.
And he was just very calm, and he had an energy drink, and his excuse was that he got lost. He didn't have a GPS, and he got lost in the back roads of Disney coming back. I said, okay, well, again, very plausible defense, because
he had his phone on him then, though, didn't he?
No, they already confiscated the phone the night before. Okay. So me with the GPS, I even took the wrong exit and had to do a U-turn to come back to get over to the hotel.
Okay. Did he have, do we know any other devices or anything, or?
No, not that I know of.
That we know.
I have no idea, because it's like, I don't know my son.
Sure. Right. No, my heart goes, I'm a father. Yeah. My heart goes out. So I can't imagine what you're going through.
I mean, the conversations he's had with me all week is just, both face lies, everything. There's nothing he said to me that is a speck of truth.
Yeah. Right. And that's kind of our concern too, is that we just,
he's not alone in this.
No. So,
she's involved heavily. She's bisexual.
Sure.
I don't know what happened, but.
One, did I hear someone crack a beer like 2 seconds ago? And two, again with their hyperbolic, there's other people involved. It's a conspiracy against our son. More of their like, well, there's more people involved. It can't have been just our son. The only other person that could be involved in this is Jen. I agree with them with that. But there's not like a whole conspiracy where they're just trying to get after your son. Your son is the main perpetrator. That's it. Every time they have an opportunity to speak about it, they're always trying to drop this sort of mindset, to the police, basically saying, you're looking in the wrong direction. There's got to be more people. Our son told us there's more people involved in this.
Right. So
there's some monkey shit going on. I think he fell on his sword.
And if that's the case, that's what we're trying to figure out. We want to know just as much as you.
He would not have been.
I mean,
sobbing so hard he was almost puking, and she's cool as a cucumber.
Sure.
Well, now I find out from the press conference today that he had a flat between 1:45 and 2:30. He called me at 3:17 that afternoon, Monday, to tell me he had a flat tire. So how the fuck do you have a flat tire? The tires are fairly good condition.
Right.
He said, you just drove up there driving to school and back. And I know he had nowhere to go. He would go back to the townhome and crash and burn. Yeah. How could you get a flat tire? I mean, it's possible, but really,
right.
But it was so severe. I mean, he said he got it on 192. and drove the rubber right off the wheel. I mean, he was riding around on the rim, and didn't know which shopping center he was at. I mean, it's just like so. And then the bullshit story he told me about his phone. So I mean,
The other bullshit is
what
he told us that she had a headache Sunday night. He was sleeping in the room. She sent in there to sleep with him. And then Monday morning, all of a sudden, she disappears.
Well, she supposedly had blood tests.
Bullshit.
But anyway, let's let the officers continue. What's up?
I mean, we're just really trying to get or nail down his timeline while he's down here. Just trying to help them out, and then
The most I could figure, based on what the detective told me his arrival time was, and by the time he came back to the hotel, he had probably an hour here. And then I was shocked to hear that he went to the storage facility.
that we worked through that. That ended up.
We just came from there.
Their
The way their
system
system generates
saying
reports
it
is
as
messed
if
up.
it was accessed, but I mean, honestly, when's the last time that you accessed it? What do you think?
Well, I got a call a couple of weeks ago about the lock not being the unit not being properly locked, and I go, okay, maybe I thought I had slid the bolt over and put the lock in where I was supposed to. I said, hell, anything could be possible. So I went over the next day. I was trying to find on my phone when she called, but I couldn't determine it. But I would say within the last 2 weeks, I was there.
Yeah,
That matches
that's
up.
the last time that.
All right. It's getting late. I'm going to leave it there for tonight. If you want me to play more of it, tell me in the comments. I will. And I can do more of the documents as well if you want to tomorrow. Although we do have 2 other cases worth of paperwork and documents that we got to do tomorrow for 2 different cases, not this one. I just wanted to get through these because we had been waiting on these for a while. Let's see. Yeah, she did do that, but yeah, definitely they seem like they take any opportunity to sort of throw in a curveball to get the attention away from Stephan. I think it's been demonstrated many times now in all their audio. She's doing okay. I mean, I don't think it's not a short-term solution. It's a long-term solution. So it takes a while. She's fine. She's here. You gonna say hello? Well, you might have heard that.
Hi, everyone.
There you go. Sort of better. But yeah, she's doing okay. Not too bad. All right. Thank you to my friend Kathy. I appreciate it. Thank you to Sean for these 2. It's very kind of you. And for being a member for 12 months. I appreciate it. I know this subject is not everyone's favorite. I get it. But it's important that we detail what happened to Madeline. And we get as much information out there as we can, as long as it's not the the CP evidence or whatever. I don't want to give you any of that. Khaliza said, yeah, I will. Yes, hello to her. And I'll be back tomorrow, even though I say that every day and then come back the second day. But it's been a little up and down this week. We've had a lot of appointments every couple of days. We've had appointments for something. So it's sort of we've been stuck in doctor's offices every second day. Yeah, she's doing somewhat better. You would like to read them? I'll work out a way to get them up. So if you want to read through all of them, you can. I think I have I don't know, a lot more than what I've shown on the channel. We have a lot of documents for Stephan. So yeah, we'll work out a way that we can get it to you guys. Yeah, so have a good night. It's good to see you all. I know this was a tough listen for a lot of people because they're over the Stephan Stern's investigation. But hey, anytime we get new information, I like to at least do some content on it. What do we got coming up? I think the weekend's pretty quiet. We don't have a lot going on, but as soon as it gets to Monday and Tuesday, it's again, I told you before, very busy. We have I think we have to leave at like 7 a.m. in the morning on 7 a.m. like 8 a.m., something like that. We have to leave pretty early Monday morning to get to the courthouse on time. I expect it's going to be super busy. You know, any well, any of these sort of final court hearings, they're all going to be absolutely packed. So I expect it'll be just full of media and full of family and full of other things. So it'll be a busy court day, I'm sure. So there'll be shows over the weekend. Sunday night and Monday for people in America, the shows won't be on until most likely when you get up in the morning, unless you're up very, very late. But so in the morning, check for the new show. You'll get all the Aaron Patterson updates from Monday and Tuesday. And yeah. Number 4 moves out. You're going to have an empty nest, Kathy. Ah. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm guessing we'll get some more information on the day. Normally what happens is a lot of those type of things tend to happen on the day. So I don't think we're going to find out until Monday morning. So nothing has been said as of yet about any reporting or anything, but we'll see. We'll see. It changes by the day. It changes by circumstance. So should be okay though. Should be okay. But yeah, busy day Monday. I'll be back tomorrow, and yeah, we'll be back. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow, although we have some documents from 2 other cases we've been following, so we may do that. All right, Liz Barraza. Yeah, well, I think we've done shows on it before. I don't see a need to revisit it at this point in time. There's no new information. There's no real reason to go back over it again. We've done it before. Yeah, back to an empty nest. Well, that'll be a nice quiet existence for you, Kathy. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I have to go do a family thing this evening, and I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to the docket for the help with the documents. I appreciate it. I'll see you then. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye.